Hey, it's Andy Michaels. I hope everyone is having a pleasant Sunday. However, those in a small town in Tennessee just outside of Nashville probably aren't having such a pleasant time. In an article by the New York Times, one person was killed and 7 others were injured in a shooting in Antioch, Tennessee. The gunman reportedly shot himself as well. However, police are reporting that he is in custody, so evidently he didn't succeed in suicide, if in fact that was his intention. He was purported to have been released from the hospital that treated his self-inflicted injury and subsequently arrested for murder and attempted murder. The Times records that there were approximately 50 people in attendance at the church at the time of the shooting, which took place just before noon at around 11:15 Eastern Daylight Saving Time. An usher was also injured, but it's unclear as to whether he was part of the 7 reported to be injured in the event. 22-year-old Robert Engel was allegedly pistol whipped by the perpetrator when he confronted him. Apparently, Mr. Engel had ran out of the church to retrieve his own firearm from his vehicle in the parking lot, and it's unclear whether he did this before or after he had been pistol whipped. I'm guessing it was afterwards. According to police, Engel kept the suspect at bay until they arrived, and the police described Engel as, quote, an extraordinarily brave man, unquote. The gunman was eventually identified as Emmanuel Sampson, reportedly from Rutherford County, Tennessee, and 3 agencies are now opening civil rights investigations into the incident: the Justice Department, the FBI, and the Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee. Why they're mentioning civil rights investigations as opposed to criminal investigations, I am not quite sure. Not really sure on how that works. Mr. Sampson, a legal African-American resident of Tennessee, had originally immigrated from Sudan sometime in the 1990s. He had also purportedly attended the same church, which was the Burnett Chapel Church of Christ, some years prior. However, he wore a mask during the shooting, so was not immediately recognized, but I'm not sure how, even without a mask, he would have been recognized. It just depends on how long ago he attended, how long he was in attendance there, and how many other people that attended simultaneously are still in attendance. So, nevertheless, he had a mask, so he wasn't recognized. So the victim in this case, the only fatality that's being reported as of yet, was 39-year-old Melanie Smith of Smyrna, Tennessee. I won't go into the details about the victim or the names of the others injured for privacy reasons, but all victims except for one were listed in stable condition, with the other in critical condition. Let's hope everyone pulls through and limits this disgusting crime to only one victim. This kind of crime is utterly evil, and I've never understood what really gets into the minds of mass murderers. No murder is justified, but there are crimes of passion that at least could be understood. But senselessly targeting innocent people at a church is beyond my comprehension. Evidently, this guy had posted some weird stuff to his Facebook prior to this murderous rampage as well. And those include at 10:18 a.m., he writes, quote, "You are more than what they told us," unquote. 4 minutes later, at 10:22 a.m., he writes, quote, "Become the creator instead of what's created. Whatever you say goes," unquote. Sounds like he's proclaiming himself to be a god, or giving instructions on what he believes are the ways to become a god. Interesting, but also disturbing. Now, granted, I've posted some weird stuff to Facebook in the past, but nothing that invokes this type of depravity. Finally, a third post at 10:26 a.m., he writes, quote, "Everything you've ever doubted or made to believe as false is real, and vice versa, comma, B," end quote. Not sure what the B means there at the end. So here he's saying that everything that we're told to believe isn't real, and that everything we're told to believe is real is not. Now, I've had some thoughts along these lines myself, especially after discovering a lot of things I used to think were absolutely true or are likely completely false, or at best, only partially true. Big example, Christianity. You can watch my series entitled Objections to the Christian Faith to learn more about that topic. But we're getting away from the main subject here. The New York Times reports that the suspect, Mr. Sampson, pulled up to the church in a blue SUV and left it running in the parking lot. And as I mentioned, he was wearing a mask, a neoprene ski mask. He was reportedly carrying 2 guns, but it's not exactly clear as to whether he fired both guns. A witness whom lives near the church reported people coming to his house requesting help and assistance. So he volunteered and proceeded to the church himself, and according to WKRN-TV, by the time this witness had arrived, Sampson had shot a woman in the back of the parking lot and then, quote, turned around, rolled her over, and shot her in the face. Then he went to the church and he knocked an older man off a walker on the floor, unquote. This is true evil. We've seen it before, but here it is again. That's all I can say. Some conspiracy theorists will probably already be reporting this didn't actually happen, or it was staged, etc., etc. Well, while I support some of those theories of conspiracy and admit some things have been staged in the past, including shootings, this one is way too new to be talking along those lines just yet. People are mourning. There's been great loss here. It's sad. Really, really sad. And it's sickening at the same time. Hard to fathom somebody with such an evil in their being to have the capacity to take another's life, let alone multiple other lives. Granted, only one fatality has happened or been reported so far, but it's a death nevertheless. And the intended target was obviously multiple victims in this case. I'll leave a link to the original article in the description below. You guys can comment about what you think about this particular story, but my thoughts are we've become so insensitive to these types of things. I mean, it's just another shooting because they happen so often, or relatively often, I should say. I mean, it's not like it's happening every day, but it seems like you're hearing about something in the news regarding mass murder or somebody's evil intent. Like I said, there's no indication that this was any kind of staged incident at this point, but we'll keep our ears and eyes open for any future developments. But at this time, it's just a sad and sickening thing to have taken place. So that's pretty much all I have for you right now. I appreciate you watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel for all things related to world events or theories, ideas, opinions, and the like. Thanks again for watching, and have a wonderful day. See ya.